Okay, sure.
Right, sir. We are live, sir, now.
Okay. Okay. Hello, good evening all. Welcome to this live session on cloud computing and distributed systems NPTEL online course. So before we go ahead, let us take the questions first, which are being posted by the students. So the first question is posted by Vikas Sharma. Let me read out the question and then we will elaborate on this particular question. So the question is that market scope in cloud computing and a job opportunity. So as far as if you are talking about the market scope, so this is the peak as far as the market scope of cloud computing is concerned, because everything is nowadays is enabled or to be done. Computing is a norm, and for the job, that is the people with a computer science background, wherever they are doing the job or they are getting the job, the primary job role will be to work inside the cloud or to work with the cloud computing technologies. Therefore, to be market ready with this course, not only this course, which is cloud computing and distributed system, has taught you the theoretical concept behind the cloud computing, which is called the distributed system. So we have already taught to you in this course the classical distributed algorithm, which is applied in today's cloud. So that is one aspect which we have already covered and prepared you. And second thing is regarding the cloud computing. So the cloud which we have taught in this course is the key technology which has enabled today's cloud is called virtualization. And we have talked to you about the virtualization, and virtualization enables the sharing of the hardware infrastructure. So if you are using the cloud infrastructure, cloud computing infrastructure of a traditional systems, like you have a physical machine like desktop, but in the cloud model, it is called as a virtual machine, because that machine is not a physical, but it has all the capabilities or functionalities like a physical machine. So that virtualization technology gives you the access across all the compute to the many people. So virtualization is the key technology, but today's world has gone beyond this virtual machine, and therefore if you want to think about the market scope in how you will be fit in by studying the cloud computing. So as far as the today's industry is concerned, they have gone beyond this virtual machine, and that is called containerization and Docker and container concepts, which also is covered in the part of the course. Now, as far as all the software design which is done in the industry for any application, if you talk about, they are based on the microservices architecture. So therefore, that is also a part of a cloud computing. So even if you design the software, that also falls into the cloud computing, knowing the cloud computing concept. And the cloud computing has given the birth to a big data. So because of cloud computing, you know that a new form of opportunity, which is called a big data, is now there. And as far as the AI is concerned, that is also a part of a cloud computing, because artificial intelligence requires enormous amount of computing power, and no supercomputer can have that kind of power, which cloud computing has that kind of power. So artificial intelligence is also a part of a cloud computing. So cloud is there everywhere. So once you say that market scope of a cloud computing is enormous, and a lot of opportunities for the job exist. So I hope this explanation has which is being pointed with the help of the course on this cloud computing distributed system answers this particular market scope of a cloud computing and also the job opportunities. Okay, so I think this answers about this question. Now let us take the other questions. So the other question is that the exam pattern. So the pattern of examination question papers and what is the marks. So as far as exam is concerned, the questions which are now like assignments you have solved, that kind of questions will be in the part of that examination. So there will be 60 MCQ questions and it will be 100 marks, and the time will be given is of 3 hours. So I think this particular question, that is the examination, will not make you difficult, and it will be an easy and enjoyable experience if you take these examination after going through this particular course, because it is all MCQs and like assignment questions. The questions will be there into the examination questions. So examination questions will not be new for you, or not be a challenging for you, or not be scary for you, to make you very comfortable and to have a good experience. The examination pattern questions of those patterns like assignment questions are being framed. So I think the another question which Jasper Rachel has asked, how will be the questions, whether it will be easy or hard. So as I told you that the pattern is like assignment questions. So if you solve the assignments, you will not find those questions difficult. So you will find the question paper, the questions will be easy if you solve the assignment before you go ahead for the examinations. Now Sarthak Mane has asked the question, can you please provide us with some practice questions for the examinations? So assignment questions which we have given in this course, I think this is sufficient practice, type of sufficient practice for the examination. So I hope these kind of questions are which are raised, we have been properly answered. Any other things which you want to see? Let us check. Okay, one question Sai Krishna Siddharth has asked to explain once more about Lampert's timestamp vector methods and how cross verify them. Okay, so as far as time is concerned, timing is an important concept. For example, the clock synchronization is physical clock synchronization is a challenging task, and how frequently you have to synchronize, that differs because so many computers are involved. As you know that cloud computing comprises of the data center, hundreds and thousands of computers are there, and every computer has its clock which has to be synchronized. So there is a physical clock synchronization, which is network time protocols and all that things. So therefore, those methods, that is physical clock synchronization, is not wise. Is not a wise solution. So as far as the distributed system is concerned, distributed system has given the concept of the logical clocks. And in that logical clock, Lampert has given the idea of the logical clocks. So logical clocks gives the timestamps, and it has the limitation that these timestamps are based on causality, that is cause and effect relationship. So Lampert's timestamp has the limitation that it ensures a happened before relation. So if two events, one is happened before the other event, then both the events are related, and they are being captured into the Lampert's timestamp. But from looking from the timestamp, you cannot infer whether they are whether they are related with the happened before relation or not. That is a limitation of Lampert timestamps. Therefore, the concept of a vector timestamp is ensured. So vector timestamp means if there are n different systems, then the and if there are n systems, so the timestamp will become the vector of size n, wherein each of the element in that vector belongs to the time stamp of the clock of that system. So as far as let us say that a system name I in that vector at ith position, it records its physical time. What about other slots? Because other slots means how that system knows the times of other such system, which is recorded in this vector clocks. So that is the latest information which that process, which that system, let us say I, knows about others clock values, and that it notes or it registers by way of message exchange. So therefore, this particular concept contains the information not only about its clock movement, its physical clock values and its movement, but what are the other clock values, other systems clock values are also noted down in the vector method. So therefore, when you compare two events with this vector timestamp, then you will see that if the two events, they are related with the happened before relation, then their clock values will be less. Okay, will follows that. However, by looking the timestamp, also you can infer the happened before relation in the vector clock, because the vector arithmetic, which is defined in the vector method, says that if you compare two clock values, and if it is less than the other clock value, that means that event has happened before the other one. So it is very, very close or similar to the physical clocks. So vector clocks are very much advanced. The only disadvantage of a vector clock is the size of the timestamp is proportional to the number of systems which are participating in the cloud. So if let us say there are n system, n is of 1,000 or hundreds and thousand, let us say 1,000 systems are participating. So the vector clock timestamp will be 1,000, whereas the Lampert timestamp will be of size 1 versus the size which is of 1,000 bits. Let us say that vector clock. So hence the memory, the amount of memory which is required, and also in the size of the message will increase as far as the vector timestamp is concerned. So I hope I have clarified about the Lampert timestamps and the vector timestamps verbally. Now another question is how the Zookeeper and Cassandra practically implemented data centers. Please summarize these two. Okay, so let us talk about the Cassandra. So Cassandra is a NoSQL database. So NoSQL database has the properties which is following an eventual consistency property. That means the consistency is not means exact consistency, but it's a eventual consistency. That means there is a compromise between consistency, availability, and fault tolerant, partition tolerant. That is called CAP theorem. So if you recall the CAP theorem which we have suggested you, and so it is a implementation, that is the Cassandra is an implementation of a CAP theorem. So that it says that out of three properties, that is availability, fault tolerant, partition tolerant, and consistency, only two of them can be satisfied. So Cassandra has to abide by partition tolerant and this availability, but consistency is compromised in the sense that it follows the eventual consistency. So this is how it is being implemented inside the Cassandra. Now, as far as the Zookeeper is concerned, Zookeeper is the orchestration service. So Zookeeper is implemented with the help of the systems which are coming up and going down. So that means the dynamic behavior of the systems whenever there is a large number of systems. So exactly monitoring which system is up and down. So there is a service which is called Zookeeper, and Zookeeper has to implement this the number of systems which are running up and which are going down. So Zookeeper is handling that now. But it requires the concept of this consensus. Consensus in asynchronous system, it requires, so it implements the protocol that is called Paxos protocol. I think we have already covered in this course this particular concept of a Paxos into the Zookeeper design implementation into the data centers. Now, any other questions? So Anil Kumar is asking a question: how AI, computer vision, and cloud computing going to play a concerted role in the days to come? Yeah, so this is a quite interesting question, and it requires. So you know that the classical AI earlier days was limited by the amount of computing power which earlier was having, but now the enormous computing power and also the data means the lot of data is now is available. So this becomes the new birth to AI. So that means the cloud has given the birth to AI. Now another important application of AI is in vision. That is how intelligently you can learn and you can process the images, maybe live images which are coming. So image processing is possible with the help of deep learning, which is an AI technique. And deep learning requires a lot of data, first of all, to be stored. Second thing is you require a lot of computing power. So cloud, when it comes to a cloud, it has enormous of storage. So data can be stored, huge size of data can be stored. Second thing is cloud provides you enormous amount of computation. So therefore, the deep learning model becomes the interesting parts. Whenever in computer vision, whenever image comes, automatically with a trained model, it can infer what is there into that image. So computer vision is now possible with the help of AI and cloud computing. So a new kind of vision is therefore the typical example of this use case is self-driving car. So you can see that this kind of car, which is called self-driving or autonomous car, has a lot of cameras placed around this car, and it can sense the images coming from the camera, and intelligently it can infer the scenario to drive the car, whether the car has to be speed up or car has to slow down, or so to avoid the collision, or if somebody is moving on the road, crossing the road, then the car has to check that what should be that speed so that the person can easily cross over. So it is all computer vision. So computer vision is used not only in autonomous car using the AI and cloud computing models, but also it is used in the robotics. So robotics is also using same principle, wherein these kind of things. So therefore, AI, computer vision, and cloud computing is going to play a major role in days to come in the form of a new application, which was not earlier possible. So you see that earlier the self-driving car was not possible. Robotics as of today was not there. in earlier days. It was researchers were struggling in designing the computer vision algorithm, but now it is very, very straightforward and easy. Only thing is that precision and how the scalability, all these aspects are being worked out. And once they are through, then these models, that is AI vision and cloud computing together, can give a birth to a new kind of application and services. So, any other questions? So, some questions are regarding MCQs. So, only MCQs? Yes. So, only MCQs will be there in your pattern of examination. So somebody has attended 2 assignments, but remaining 6, whether it will be an issue? No. So best 6 out of 8 assignments will be considered. Murli has already answered it, so you don't have to worry regarding that. So thank you, Murli, for also answering the questions. So let us see if more questions are there.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we will wait for 2 more minutes. In case if there are no questions posted, then we will wind up the session, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So you have recommended this name of the book? You have? Okay. Yeah, so let us answer a few questions. So the first question is about saying that cloud engineering, okay, deep learning, machine learning, DLML, and AI engineering courses have come. Yes, because you know that, but all are different courses. So when you talk about cloud engineering, there you will not find the details of AI, ML, and DL. So AI, and when you talk about DL, ML, and AI, then you will not get the details of cloud computing. So as far as the industry is concerned, they have all these things together working in the real scenario. So understanding of these things we have tried to give you in this part of the course, and students are requested to have the good understanding of these 3 things. It's all related. Maybe different courses, but you have to now take this interpretation that how they are all related. Now, Sai Krishna is asking about Elastic MapReduce, how it helps. So Elastic MapReduce, that means the MapReduce when you run on the public cloud, like AWS or Azure, there you will find MapReduce called as Elastic MapReduce. So it's the same MapReduce running into the public cloud rather than running on your local or a private data center. So I hope this doubt is clear. So Anil Kumar is asking, what are the skills and technologies to become a successful cloud technician? Yeah, so this becomes a big challenge. So cloud technician is a multidisciplinary. kind of requirement. So a person with a mechanical engineering can also become a cloud technician. A person from electrical engineering can also become a cloud technician. A person from electronics engineering can also become a cloud technician. So for example, inside the data center, that is inside a cloud, you have to manage the power requirements. You have to manage how the cooling of the data center has to be done. So these are all things comes under the mechanical engineering. Electrical people has to deal with the power supply, uh, and electronics people has to deal with many other intricacies. So there are different skills. Means all skilled people, all different skills are required. That is why it is multidisciplinary. Sai Krishna is asking, sir, any idea about how the elastic MapReduce helps in the automation? So as I told you in the course itself, that the cloud, the programming model for a cloud is also differs than the classical programming. So the programming on the cloud is the model which is called the MapReduce. And so therefore, if you want to do programming at that cloud level, then you require the programming which is called the MapReduce. And if the programming you are doing inside the cloud, in the public cloud, then it is called a elastic MapReduce. So therefore, automation means if you want to design an application in a cloud-based application, then the programming is MapReduce. So MapReduce is required to get an automated automation with the help of the public cloud services. So if you want to run the services in the public cloud, you have to use the MapReduce MapReduce programming to design your application, and then only it can run into the cloud. Nowadays, there are many tools which can automatically generate the programs into the MapReduce, and which you can run. Like scripts are there, a lot of scripts are there which can be used. Okay, so that is all about the elastic MapReduce in automation. It helps. Any other questions? So I think if there is no other question, then over to Murli.
Yes, sir, we can end the session now since there are no questions. So before winding up, you can wish the students, sir. Examination is on 21st of March, sir.
Okay, so I wish you all the best. Examination is on 21st of March. Please go through the assignments, and you will get the complete pattern of the examination. And if you solve the assignments properly, then I think you will not have any problem in getting the good results in the examination. So wish you all the best for your examinations on 21st of March. 21st, no?
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Yashwant.
Okay, bye.
So we will end the session now, sir. Bye,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bye, sir.
Bye. अब क्या